Welcome to OWAD Today. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue on the finish yesterday's poem. So yesterday we talked about no birds through the thousands of mountains out there and no human tracks on the 10,000s of trails out there. So it looks pretty, no lives out there except one person here. And this main character start to show in the second stanza. After pacing with the landscape, which kind of like dystopia almost, no humans, no birds, no living things out there. And then yet there's just one single old man with one single boat out there holding it out. I call it a raincoat and rain hat. I don't exactly know, but to my best imagination, is the gear. Ancient times, before we have all the inventions of today's warm gear, that's the ancient times how you stay warm and stay have the insulation you can get from the natural organic plant-based material. 蓑笠, raincoat and rain hat. You get covered, you stay warm in this, I guess, pretty human unfriendly or birds unfriendly even environment, which is the winter, but not wonderland. Okay, the first character by itself, 孤舟蓑笠翁, this solo, this 孤, especially even though the Chinese origin, it means orphaned children, made of this children symbol with this gua, this melon growing on this frame. So you can almost see how the farm work back then worked, that the melons growing on top of the frameworks that farmers propped up so that melons can be easily accessible and grow big. And that's the fruit of the plant, right? And humans use that for our own benefit. So that's all kinds of melons, how they grow, dripping down, dropping in this tear shape. And that's the melon. And Chinese often have 瓜熟蒂落. This 瓜 is big. This big nutritious thing is attached by almost like a thin connector thread. And when it grows big enough, ripe enough, it's going to fall from the vein. And this 瓜 image still on top of the vein and connected to vein means it's not ripening yet. It still needs life support of some sort. Yet, this paired with children, the baby image, big head, torso, two arms reaching up, because the legs are not functional yet for the baby stage. It's really infant kind of baby, paired with this gua, this melon thing, paired together to mean this orphaned infant that doesn't have life support connect with them yet, like no longer have supportive of the lineage, because the vein of that melon growing on top or connect with symbolize the lineage, right? Your genetic code came from that vine, and now it's not there. You become a separate entity without that lifeline support. In ancient times, in particular, this gu means fatherless. Eventually, this means both parents are gone, right? Okay, that sense of being left behind, especially not have the social structure, supportive system, the lifeline, not there. You're left to struggle to survive in this probably hostile world on your own. So that's the origin of the school. Now, I translate as solo, because solo is kind of a neutral, right? You just go solo. What's wrong with that? But it came from this orphanage picture. Okay, 舟, we have almost like a two-seater kayak look. This is a bow of the boat, the two sides of the boat, and the two cedars in there, separated by this line there. So that's a visual representation of how the boat would look like ancient times. 蓑笠, okay. 蓑is made of clothing. Take away the middle part. The rest of them means clothing. The clothing is a generic term. It's just something we put on ourselves, right? And the middle part gives you the specific, what type of clothing that is. And this almost like straws or grasses putting on a string connected. So that, as visually as possible, depict what the ancient raincoat would look like. It's layers of braided straws. So straws have the air pockets in between these tubes, right? And all that serves as insulation. So that's the ancient way of keep you warm. And the E is made of this neckline, ancient times of wrap up neckline to the front, and the back is the darted back neckline. The whole neckline depiction from the back is a Chinese way to show you what clothing at our eye level, because that's the most recognized, most visually close to observers part of the clothing. And then we have this grass braided together to keep us warm, this insulated clothing. That's the purpose, right? The function. And that's a Chinese 蓑笠. We have the bamboo symbol. So apparently that's made of bamboo material. And then this li means stand up. So this is a full frontal adult view. You can see two legs standing firmly on the ground and two arms sticking out. So that's like a muscle guy almost, right? Frontal view facing here. That means it's a standing, bamboo standing. It's the type of, I call it rain hat, but I guess as close I can find a visual reference for that is quote unquote Chinaman's hand, which is a cone-shaped hat. Eventually I realized that's a pretty good design because it's easy to make. You just braid it out into this cone shape, and it's like a walking umbrella, hands-free. You just plump this umbrella thing on top of your hand and provide all the shape, right? Front and back. And it's hands-free. You don't need to hold it. It's as awesome as that. And it's organic material. I don't know why it's not catching on, but I guess a straw hat is the closest, I guess, fancier looking, better head fitting with bigger rim out there so that I don't look weird as this cone. So the cone shape Chinaman's head became this oriental solution of sun sheltering, not popularized these days. Okay, I would say it's still like originally used in that part of the Southeast Asia part of the world, but it's not definitely not commonly seen. That's why here people call it a Chinaman's head. Okay, wong is made of feathers, so this is a pair of wings of the birds. And we have gong, the sound gong means it's public. It's opposite of private because the bottom here, the triangle with a tip there, that means private. I guess private because it's an enclosure and it has the tip of the chimney. I call it a chimney because it's a food processing unit, and food in private, I mean, as private property or survival essential thing that every unit of family that separately handle their hunger problem or the income, right? It's enclosure is not taken from you unless being robbed, right? So that's your thing, that's private. And then this separating means opposite to that. So opposite to private means public. And this public eventually also adopt the meaning of male. I'm not sure if male in the past means it's some public available resources. I'm not sure. But there is definitely a divergence of the meaning there that starts from it's public and then it's male. Male is the meaning here. Male paired with feather. So according to scholars, wong is a type of bird that have a sort of featured feather arrangement. Either it's a bigger plume of feather or it's a distinctive color. That once you have that color, that's a marker to mean it's a male bird. I mean, reasonable, right? In the bird kingdom, male birds are more colorful. So that's a Chinese capturing of that phenomenon. And eventually this feather featured male identifier then used back to humans to mean it's old man. I guess old men grow a certain hair, that facial hair, to distinguish themselves in the status of the society, just like male birds out there. Okay, so 孤舟蓑笠翁 gives it a picture of in that desolate landscape, no birds, no other human tracks visible, all gone, lifeless place. But there's this one old man, apparently knows what he's doing because he's geared with insulated clothing and hat covered, so he's not frozen to death. That's why he can still survive in this harsh environment. And he is a solo floating in that boat. What is the mission? Why he's doing there? Okay. 独钓寒江雪. So this solo, well-geared old man, it's almost like an Old Man and the Sea, Chinese version, but it is fishing as well, right? So Old Man and the Sea is human and nature combating and coexisting and battling out, but eventually in harmony, right? And this is a Chinese version of the Old Man and River that it's fishing there. It's motionless. There's no exertion, as Old Man and the Sea dramatically described. But this person, solo in a boat, in the harsh environment, when no birds, no other man visible, this person is alone, fishing in that cold river, covered by snow. I have to fill out English words in here to make the English translation sense. But if you look at the Chinese, we have 5 characters. 独钓寒江雪, alone, fishing, cold river, snow. It's almost like up to the reader to piece out together through this very succinct way of both the sense, the landscape up to here, to this point, and the emotional sense there. This is a person doing this alone. So up to here, I want to share a little bit like personal insight of one person alone out there in nature. I'm not sure how many of you go out there either hiking or biking. For me, I'm a biker, so I go out there. Of course, I have a buddy system. It's not like me in nature, just by myself. I probably don't have the guts to do that yet. If I know what I'm doing, I know my power output, I can sustain myself, paddle myself in and out of nature, and well-equipped, I probably can do that one day. But so far, I have a buddy system. But occasionally, I do have the moment of riding alone out there in whatever time of the day. It could be night, could be day. And this sense of me alone out there in nature, where it's way away from civilization. It's not that away, just hours away from the city, but enough to put me outside the context of our usual urban existence. It's me alone out there. Season-wise, it's not that, extreme in a where no birds, no other man around. It's not as extreme as that. But I'm pretty sure lots of adventurers, they go out there, really out there to inhabitable place and to do their own thing alone. This sense of, I guess, strengthened almost existence. At the same time, you feel alone. You're out there on your own, right? To your own joy or demise, your existence out there alone. At the same time of scary and exhilarating, because that's almost give you the sense of you have the power or the knowledge, the skills, the courage to go out there alone, you facing nature around you without the facilities or ease of the contemporary life support around you. You're on your own. And that gives you a sense of almost like a fuller existence because you're able to do that on your own. And only when you can grow comfortable enough or capable enough to survive however number of hours you can manage out there on your own. So this person is well equipped. It got a 蓑笠 covered, insulated him from that coldness. And then this person, what he's doing, he's alone out there fishing. And I don't know, winter fishing probably was a thing, but I would imagine it's not that easy to catch a fish in such a low temperature environment. So probably this person is not like a professional fisherman. That's the likelihood, because chance of catching a big fish in that cold temperature probably not that high. But then why this person is taking such a high risk, going there on their own, on his own? One person facing the whole silent, lifeless world, supposedly fishing still underground, still in that river he can fish. And to do this, and there are some mind frame that we have to put ourselves in to try to understand, to approach the psyche from the behavior of solo fishing out there in this cold environment. Okay, 独钓寒江雪. 独 is made of this dog symbol and 鼠 on the right, which is a bug-eyed, bug body, a worm, a type of, bug-eyed bug. And this is a symbol for Chinese southwest of China, that geographic bio-rich, because it's higher, different elevation, more humid. So life formats came in abundance and, bugs abundant. And this buggy place, in good sense, okay, is a bio-rich, kind of Amazon, China's local smaller scale Amazon in China. The dogs from that region have this behavior pattern of don't want to be put together with another dog anywhere close to them. Otherwise, one will kill the other. So that's alone. And that's how this aloneness is resulted from. It's a character of the dog from that region and eventually applied to human behavior. So some humans, I don't know exactly the percentage, prefer to be left alone. Okay. Fishing is made of metal plus hook. That explains the tool, the very tool we use to fish. And this hook is this ladle shape with a spoon of something, scoop of something. And the metal is made of the gathering, the triangle means gathering of something underground. We have this ground and this indicator of something underground that you can gather that's useful for you. So this awareness of mineral buried underground, and if you find them gathering of the same type of metal, and that's the mine place, and from that mining Usually that's where the metal comes from, right? Mined from underground. And that's our metal. So metal paired with hook or lateral shape of hook. That's fishing. 寒江雪, Han is made of this big arch with a chimney on top. That's human quarters. That's shelter. And then we have the plant symbol, 4 of them. This trident looking thing, plant, is filled underneath that. And then we have the, I guess, coldness symbol, this kind of arrow pointing thing. Cold, okay. It's the heat that going upward, cold going downward, right? I guess ancient times before people know the direction of the heat movement, we point up. It means coldness seeping in, so that we have to insulate to keep our warmth by stacking up haze or straws filled within our living quarters. So that's the ancient way to insulate your house from the coldness outside. And then we have this human figure embedded, this human figure embedded among the grass. So that's how you stay warm. The behavior of trying to stay warm actually testify to how cold it is out there. So that's how, Chinese use the defense of coldness as the illustration of how cold that is. Okay, river, 江, just like 河. The last episode we talked about a yellow river. It's a particular river in the middle of China. That's the origin of Chinese civilization. Jiang is the southern part of China. That's after the Yellow River origin, people spread out a little, right? And then a group of people going toward the southern part of China. And that eventually became, I guess, even more civilized location because many poets, our literature man, came from the southern part of China. And eventually you see lots of Jiang occurring in Chinese poems because that's mostly the commerce and civilized life carry out over there. Many stories along that river, which is our long river, Yangtze River, kind of a big W shape from the west side of the mountainous zone where there's a shu is buggy-eyed plate, the Amazon of China, I guess, different altitudes, right? Flowing W shape over to the Yellow Sea. So that's Jiang River plus this Chinese ancient craftsman tool, try square this thing together to mean the river. Okay, 雪, Chinese character made it from the rain. So ancient times, snow was recognized as a type of rain. When in contemporary scientific weather forecasting, when we're talking about precipitation, right? The rainfall from the sky, it could come in both forms, either rain or snow. So Chinese recognize the the uniformity of that. And after Chinese express snow by the top portion is rain, right? Sky fallen, or sky connecting to the ground. Under this big arch is the space and raindrops. So this rain connected with the snow shoveling effort in there. 3-finger hand symbol means you're handling something. And here are the shovels. I guess ancient snow shoveling doesn't have the equipment we have today, right? So have to use kind of a brooms. So these are the organic forms of blooms. So these forms are the blooms, twigs combined together to make blooms. Brooms. So hand brooming off the rain from the sky. So if the rain in its wet form comes to earth, it's going to drain itself, right? It's going to, form its own river path. Depending on the drainage system in a location. But the snow won't go by itself. It's a solid form. And then this action of swiping it away with brooms to at least form the tracks that humans can walk on, or for the horses, whatever winter activities you want to do the snow shoveling over there, that by the human action to deal with this type of rain precipitation from the sky already symbolize this is snow that we have to handling. So 独钓寒江雪 gives you the sense of this fisherman, well equipped, still choose to alone do the fishing on this cold river when it's covered with snow. And that, I guess, courage of one man facing the whole world without the facility of the other humans, because no humans tracks found, no birds out there, but he is doing this fishing on his own. And then you can question, is that motivated by economic reasons? Probably not. And it turned out that this author of the poem lived about 1300 years ago and was in the lineage of literature man, of course, to come up with this, I guess, like a time-honored poems, like enjoyed by generations of Chinese users. This person got to be very talented, connected with the language, with the culture, and this, just like the destiny of most literature men back then. If you're not the emperor, the one singular male ruler through thousands of years of dynasties, cycles in China, if you're not make it to the top, and then you're part of the facility for that ruler. You're part of the apparatus, the governing body of that ruler, become part of the bureaucracy to govern people. And this Liu Zongyuan is the author. This guy actually went through his life's ups and downs of this political struggle. It's a chaotic time in China as well, that he ended up choosing to spend his time, instead of suffering himself like why he wasn't promoted or something like that, right? Instead of questioning that, he stayed put with his wherever he was assigned to. And regardless of what the societal trend it is, if it's wintertime, he is actually doing some out of season thing that's fishing in this winter time. That shows his character. That gives you a choice, an option, an eye-opening moment of what you can do with your life, even if nobody else is around and you're doing the solo fishing in the snow. And I tried very hard to, coax Gemini give me a picture, but I couldn't give me a satisfactory picture to represent the solitude and the strength of this human spirit. Solo fishing is, again, old man and sea, Chinese version, in face of life's ups and downs. That's the attitude, the position this person takes. Just couldn't render it. So I ended up using somebody already drawed out in this ink and paper format of Chinese drawing, and with amazing snows already rendered out, and the mountains, like things you cannot even see, blurred out in the background. But this old man, well equipped under the cover, still holding spirit high and doing the fishing, is in this very unlikely time and place, choose however he wants to spend his time on through the life. And this mentality still resonates thousands of years later. And this is how, the poem and the picture pair together. Somebody write out, and 江雪 is the name of the poem. 千山鸟飞绝，万径人踪灭。绝灭 right? Rhymes. 孤舟蓑笠翁，独钓寒江雪. Later on, Chinese users came up with the expression of Am I fishing? I'm actually not fishing. The posture is fishing, but the attitude is I'm enjoying this 孤独, both 孤 and 独 connected over there means I'm enjoying this solitude. This is me spending my life as I wish moment. All right. I hope you enjoy it. I thoroughly do. Thank you for your time. See you another day. This is the end of this